pusha every day. Pusha every day. Pusha.
Good day, everyone. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. My name is Teboho again, for those that don't know me. Welcome to my new episode. And thank you for the feedback, man. You know, I've been getting quite some feedback on previous episodes, and I must say it's quite positive. Please excuse a lot of the sun rays that are coming from this side on certain directions. But yeah, I hope everybody's well. What I want to talk about today is a few do's and don'ts of closing deals. And focusing mainly on distractions. I want to make a simple example with an experience that I once had years ago. You know, I think it was 2005. I still had a partner then in the then business that I was running. Now, I've never had a business where I could get business in any other way other than going, getting an appointment, seeing a client, and presenting. You know, whether you present on a PowerPoint slide, whether you present in however way your proposal, that's all I've ever had to do. In pretty much every business I've ever had, I've had to pin down proposals and go and present them. So if you're in that space where you always have to write proposals and present, whether for sponsorship, whether for work, you know, I mean for solutions, you know, if you're running an agency and you have to present a growth strategy or a launch plan or you name it, I think this might assist you. The year was 2005 and yeah, I'm quite sure it was 2005, and we had a presentation. We'd been given a meeting date, you know, or a presentation date, and I remember we worked on this presentation for almost or this proposal for almost a month. I'm somebody that really puts in a lot of work behind these proposals or behind these presentations. So a lot of work had gone behind this particular one too. And when the date finally came for us to go and present this proposal, we went. You know, I mean, I think our appointment was for 10 o'clock, and we were there early, as we should. But you see, the problem with that, the problem came when 10 o'clock came. We were invited to the boardroom to do our presentation, right? And now when we get there, it's 10 o'clock, the clock is ticking now, tick, tick, tock, you know? And there I am, you know, I'm busy taking out my 2 cell phones, putting them on the table. My partner is also doing the same. He's taking out his cell phones, putting them on the table. We put in the keys, the car keys, you know, the BMW keys on the table. We open our laptops. We try to switch them on. In the meantime, we're busy, you know, with the thank yous for inviting us, or thank you for having us, and things like that, you know. And you know, we dressed up. We actually went and bought new suits that time, you know. You know, Hugo Boss shirts, you know, watches, you know, we shining, we're smelling good, you know. And these people are watching us, you know, and I mean, I'm very fortunate. I think with almost all my presentations, you know, I always have decision makers around the table. So even that time, we had the MD of the business there, we had the marketing director of the business, we had the sales director of the business, we had everybody we needed to make that decision. And here we are, for the first time they're seeing us. You know, we all blinged up, we shiny, you know. And they're watching this movie, you know, they're watching this thing. I think this clowning went on for about 15 minutes into the presentation. We haven't even started presenting. And eventually we stopped and started presenting. You know, and as I was presenting, and I mean, I'm one person, whenever I do presentations, I'm always watching what the people are doing, what the response around the table is, who's twiddling their thumbs, who's focusing, who's not focusing, do I have their attention, have I lost it, and so forth, you know. So that's very particular, that's very important to me. So in that particular meeting, I looked at everyone and everyone was like, you know, they're looking at my watch, they're looking at his belt, they're looking at our shoes, you know, they're looking at our suits, you know, they're looking, you know, they're looking at these brands that we're wearing, you know. I'm sure they're probably thinking, these clowns, you know, they're looking on the table, things we've put there, you know, like put your phones on the table. And I'm busy presenting. Eventually, I got finished. I concluded my presentation. I went to a Q&A and said, you know, is there any questions? Is there any part of this that you would want us to explain further? And not even one person. Not one. Now, the reason nobody asked anything was because no one was listening. No one was listening because everybody was busy watching all this performance we were giving, you know. Everybody was watching the circus that we had put up. You know, obviously we didn't get the business. Often we get lied to, and which we did as well. I mean, in all talks, in some motivational speaking, sometimes you must be careful of the motivational seminars and all these things that you attend, because I mean, some go there to try and sell you something, and since they're selling you this, they'll sell you a certain picture. You know, that's success goes to success, money goes to money. No one's going to give you R1 million if you don't look like you've got R1 million. No one's going to give you, is going to trust you with their hard-earned money or a lot of money when you look like you don't have money yourself. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. But we were told that, you know, so hence we went there trying to look rich. You know, we were told that, and we went there specifically. You know, we had worked on a very good proposal, but at the same time, we wanted 2 million, so we needed to look like we can handle 2 million. We're used to these things. I mean, just look at us, you know. But that was a rubbish move, you know, just for a lack of a better word, you know. We lost that deal completely. And the reason we lost it is because we distracted the client. We distracted the prospect, because they were not even a client. And what I want to talk about is exactly that. Do not distract your prospect, or be careful not to distract your prospect. A lot of us work hard, put together dope presentations, do research even, put graphs, have our numbers in order. But when we get there, we distract whoever we're presenting to from listening to the solution, which is what we did. Which is exactly what we did. And I remember at one time, at a different scenario now, where I was presenting something relating to promotions, and I went there with a promoter lady, and we offended the guy that we were presenting to, simply because the lady I came with was wearing a see-through top that showed her cleavage and that showed underneath, you know. So he was a Muslim guy. I didn't even know that Muslims were offended by such, but he became offended, that guy, and basing, he voiced it out, and he based his offense, he's taking offense on this thing, on his religion. You know, he said, you know, we don't respect and we don't what. So we never even got to present. We literally got kicked out of there. You know, it was not even about tell the girl to leave. It was just about, I'm not going to listen to this. I'm offended. How do you come dressed like this, half naked and blah, blah, blah. You know, so you need to be careful of all those kind of things, because we had put a lot of work behind that presentation too, and we never got to present it simply because I went there with a half naked person. And I mean, I've got lots of stories relating to that that I just won't go into. But to this day, whenever I go to presentations, my computer is ready from the car. It's switched on. I'll just close it. When I get to the presentation, I open it, I plug it in. Within the first minute, I'm already set up and projecting. It is open in the presentation that I need. Period. Phones. If I'm hotspotting, that phone will go in the bag, in the car. And I'll connect already in the car, so I won't even need to take it out when I get to that boardroom. Any other phone, if I don't need it for that presentation, it stays in the car. Clothes, no Hugo Boss, no labels, no nothing. If it doesn't have my logo on, or a logo of a client like this one, or a partner, I don't wear it to the presentation. Plain and simple. So that if I meet people that want to see what you're wearing, that want to read labels, they mustn't see anything that will distract them. Strong colognes, nah, nothing. I go there as simple as possible, because now I need them to focus on the presentation. And believe you me, I close 90% of every presentation. I close 90% of all the deals that I present. Ever since that. 90%. I close them. All my presentations, if I'm given an hour, which in most cases that's the most you get, first 20 minutes, my presentation must be finished. It mustn't go for more than that. 10 minutes thereafter is the Q&A. After the Q&A session, trust you me, it's a matter of when can you start, Tebogo? Are you on our system? Are you on our database? Do you have this and this and that? This is what you're going to need to register. Can you send us a quote? Can we start? How soon can we start on this? You know, those are the things you want at a presentation. And over half the presentations, I close them like that on first visit. So be careful. I know there's a lot of hustlers out there who been knocking on them doors, trying to get their first corporate client, you know, and they're presenting and they're presenting and they're presenting and they're just not getting anywhere. You know, they think maybe it's the timing, they think maybe it's, sometimes it's, you could be right, but look at if you are distracting whoever you're presenting to. Because, I mean, in the example I'm telling you, those guys may have been looking at us thinking, these guys want this 2 million to buy more cell phones. These guys want this 2 million to buy more designer labels. These guys are going to take this 2 million and go buy more BMWs. You know what I'm saying? Because we gave them that impression. We gave them the impression that this is what's important to us. Must be careful what you believe out there, you know. People telling you money goes to money only. In corporate, majority of the time, they look at capacity. If what you are presenting, you've got the capacity to deliver. It's like what I said in the previous episode. The big issue was capacity. So if what you are presenting, you've got the capacity to deliver it, better yet, you've done it before, so you've got the experience backing you up, and you present it well to the right people who are making the decisions, trust me, you're going to clap that deal. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit like if you think what I said today makes sense. Until the next episode. Cheers.